Alright, as welcome to another episode of the Pars Roundup. As I said in my previous video, which was obviously Punt It Long, that went up yesterday, that there was a Pars Roundup going to be up on Thursday. That's the reason why I didn't speak too much about Dunfermline in the Punt It Long episode itself, because this video, obviously, we speak about just Dunfermline. And aye, let's get on with it. We're now looking ahead to the Partick Thistle at home game, live on BBC Alba, Hooked or Chuked or TV, if you want to call it that. It's going to be an interesting one. We've always had a kind of bad record, I suppose, on Friday nights, and especially when we get on TV as well. We've never really had a great record in that regard, but it's a vital game for us. We need 3 points really, and if we don't, Alan Johnson's position as manager is just going to become even more sugary by the day. His jacket's going to be almost falling off that peg if he doesn't pick up 3 points in this one, because a home game for us, I mean, it's far more vital, just in terms of keeping the fans on side and stuff like that, because a lot of fans have already turned against them, and it's been like that for some time really. Apart from when we were doing really well at the end of last season, there's always been fans that have never really taken to Alan Johnson and some of his ideas, tactics, substitutions, all that gaff. And this game is kind of the pinnacle of that. Obviously, if we lose against Falkirk next week, then it'll be even worse for him because it's Falkirk. But a home game against a side that hasn't started the season well, yes, they've came down for the Premier League and they've got good players, but we have to be wary of the fact that we have good players as well, and this is our home game. We need to come out, play the game that we can play, and get the 3 points and move on to the next week and keep on improving and improving. We've been doing that in the last few weeks. We've got 2 clean sheets and obviously performed really well against Morton on Saturday just past there, and we all know how we conceded that goal and only got a point for that game. So really, we have been improving in the last 3 weeks at least. So there's always positives to go into this with, and there's still negatives, but there's not as many as there would have been if this fixture was coming up, as I said, about 3.5 weeks ago. So I'm kind of positive. I'm going to go with a prediction of 3-1 Dunfermline, and we'll just see how that pans out. As I mentioned in the Punt It Long video, and it will be mentioned in the title of this video as well, this episode of the Pars Roundup is going to be featuring a Partick Thistle fan. His name's Josh. He's got a YouTube channel called the Jwhd, so I'll leave it linked right here, right now. I'll also leave it linked in the description below if you can go over and check him out. He'll explain a bit of what he does at the end of his wee clip here, but he does Partick Thistle videos, it's pretty self-explanatory. But aye, let's give him his go. He's just going to answer a few questions based on Partick Thistle and their season so far and what he thinks about the game coming up.
Right, so basically Ben has asked me to answer a few questions. So Partick Thistle's best signing at the transfer window. There's been a few good signings, but I think there's a lot of players that haven't actually fulfilled their potential so far, and they haven't got off to a great start, but I think they will definitely do well. Like for example, Sean McGinty, he looked like an absolute bombshell when he first came in, but now I think he's grown into his position, he's getting more confident, and I think he's quite underrated. I think people still think he's a bombshell, but I think he is definitely getting better game by game. I would say that it would be Koulibaly, however, he can't get international clearance or whatever because his old team won't release him or whatever. I don't think there's really any bad signings apart from Max Melbourne. He hasn't looked too great, but hopefully he does well, as he's really just going to be a backup to James Penrice. In terms of our best player so far this season, I think there's a few that have done well. I think Chris Erskine's done really well. Blair Spittle's done well in the last couple of games, although he always works hard, Blair Spittle, but sometimes he makes stupid mistakes like cutting in instead of crossing the ball. But yeah, Dillon as well, hopefully he can find some form. He didn't go off to a great start. Yeah, but in terms of best player so far for me, I'd give it to Chris Erskine. Thistle's biggest weakness this season, I'd say, is definitely our defence. I think we have decent enough defenders. Obviously unfortunate with Tamil Weir getting injured for the rest of the season, but hopefully we can tighten up at the back. If we could defend, I think we could possibly win the league this season because we've got no problem attacking. Thistle's biggest plus this season, I'd say, is definitely our attacking. We do, because if we get players that are capable of putting the ball in the back of the net, which is what you need at this level, is we've got so many players that can attack and can give us a different approach against teams. So yeah, definitely our attack is sorted, but if we can tighten up at the back, that'd be great. We're away from home, so that's always going to be a tough game for us because we've got a massive drought away from home. Can't seem to win a game or even pick up points away from home, but we need to change that this week. We need to change that. Something needs to change in terms of the away form, so we need to find that consistency home and away. I think it means a lot to both teams this game because obviously there's questions about Dunfermline's manager, not as much as our manager. I think it definitely means a lot to us. But saying that, Dunfermline, I've got to go for it as well. They're playing at home, they're playing in front of their own fans. They'll know that we're not doing well away from home, so they'll try and exploit that, try and attack us, I think, and just really go for it. And they've definitely got players capable of causing enough problems at the back. Miles Hippolyte and Elback Tui, I rate both of them. In terms of my predictions, I'm not optimistic. I never am with Thistle because you just can't predict them. Every time I predict a Thistle score, we seem to lose. The last time I predicted a Thistle score was against Kilmarnock at Christmas last season. I said we'd win 2-1 and we lost 5-1, so that just shows how unpredictable Thistle are. But hopefully we can get the result anyway. But I definitely wouldn't put money on it because our away form has been shocking. So yeah, that's all from me. I hope you're enjoying the video when you are seeing this. Subscribe to Ben Below if you're interested in similar content to us. You can go and sub to me. I'm a Thistle fan obviously, and I make Thistle matchday vlogs.
So there's what Josh thought. Obviously he's going to have the opinion that he wants Partick Thistle to come out and win. He spoke about the away drought that they've had, where they've not performed well enough away from home to get anything any time recently, and that could play into our hands slightly. We're obviously going to know that they don't play as well away from home as they do at home. It's kind of the opposite for us. We don't play as well at home as we do away from home. Although, you could argue that this season we've not been playing well really anywhere. It has kind of been proven by the fact that last week, obviously Morton away, we played significantly better than we have in recent weeks, and the only win we've had this season was at Dundee United away from home on the first day of the season, and we beat Dundee away as well. So Partick Thistle performed good at home and poor away, and we performed relatively poor at home and good away. So it's a mixed bag really. I'm not sure what to expect. I just hope that Dunfermline can come out and get the points, as I've said, because every fan will say that this is such a vital fixture for us. Just the whole vibe around the club would change if we got a win here, and we'd go into the Falkirk away game next week with high confidence. The fans are obviously going to be well up for it. It's just simply due to the fact of what game it is next week. They'll go into it with even bigger spirits if we pick up 3 points here and actually we start to see us turn a bit of a corner in terms of actually getting 3 points on the board rather than 1, or in most cases none recently. I want to say thanks to Josh for getting involved. I like it when I can get other fans involved from other teams. It really helps kind of the insight into other teams. So I cheers to him for that. As I said, his channel will be linked in the description below. Go and check him out. He's a nice guy and he makes the good content. So if you can go over and give him a wee subscribe and that, I'm sure it will help him out a lot. This season we're looking to push on and get promotion, or at least really contend for it, and getting thumped at home by 2 or 3 goals each time, that's no fun. As far as my team goes, this is it here. It's going to be the same team that started against Morton because I believe that that's probably the best team selection that Alan Johnson's made in weeks now. Mallory Martin came in, Aidan Connolly and Andy Ryan came in as well, and they've all performed really well. Mallory Martin brought that kind of presence in midfield in terms of passing the ball, a kind of play that we've missed in recent seasons really. Aidan Connolly came in and added a different dimension, gave us a bit more direct running and offered us that pace in the wing, whereas with players like Miles Hippolyte playing out there and to an extent Louis Longridge, we don't actually get the direct running down the wing at players or taking players on and stuff like that, especially not with Hippolyte. He just doesn't seem to be that type of player. So I would keep Aidan Connolly in because he was so effective in doing that. And Andy Ryan, of course, he got his goal and it was well deserved. He's the kind of striker that, as I said in last week's Pars Roundup, that thrives off of chances. He's the poacher striker, and playing next to somebody like Faisal, who in my opinion just needs a goal no matter how it comes about just now, that if Andy Ryan plays with him, they can peel off each other, work off each other, and whilst Faisal's the workhorse and Andy Ryan is more of the goal scorer, Faisal has to get himself a goal. So If they can work off each other and create chances for each other as well, one creates space for the other, etc., then I've no doubt that it'll eventually come off for one another. And that's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy, please give it a like. As I said, hopefully it can be a home win for us finally, because we've been long due one, and I hate that saying in football, but it kind of is true. We've had such a bad run recently, and obviously that's down to the team. I'm more than the fans are long due a home win. We need to go and sit at East End Park for a night and enjoy the football we're watching, because it's been weeks now that we've really kind of felt a bit of apathy towards what's happening on the pitch. I wouldn't encourage this, but if you're not up for sitting at East End Park on a Friday night when it's freezing cold and paying money to get in, or if you don't have a season ticket, obviously that's what you'll be doing, then it's live on BBC Alba, as I said, so you've always got the option of staying in your armchairs and watching it in the comforts of your home, so there's your choice. 7:45 kick-off. Be there or be at your armchair. But as I said, like the video if you enjoyed it, comment down below anything about your team or the game in general, what your thoughts on it are, and subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, see you then. Cheers, guys.